everybody, and welcome to St. Petersburg for the Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Our finals, man. We got 3 more races. The points, they're so tight, Tim. Mike Young along with Tim Ducat right here. How you doing, Timmy?
Amazing, man. If that intro doesn't get you geeked for some racing this weekend in St. Pete, I don't know what will, but that points race is even hotter, man. It's going to be a great weekend.
You know, one of the craziest things, Jimmy Wilson, who just came into Aquacross last year, comes into this race, the points leader, 174 points, but guess who's following him? He's like one of the goats in personal watercraft racing, man. Dustin Farthing, the king is here, baby.
Man, as long as I've been around racing over the last 25 plus years, I've watched Dustin dominate racing and win, and he's come back to P1 this year, and he kind of set his sights early. It looked like he was just going to be consistent and chip away, but all of a sudden here we are, the last round of the tour, and we got a shot at the championship.
Yeah, exactly. He's within 6 points of Jimmy Wilson right now, and right behind him, the guy who won the his national title last year, Arminio Iantasca, and you can't count that kid out.
My boy E, I love watching Arminio ride. He's such a solid rider. He's been around the sport as long as Dustin has and done just as much winning. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. He's still got a shot at getting into the top there.
And still in the points race, Christian Daly. And Christian's been plagued with just problems like, mechanical problems all year. It's not physical problems because that kid can race.
Yeah, I mean, in this type of racing with the punishment we put on the skis in these races, luck is so integral. I mean, Christian is one of the most talented, if not the most talented guys out here. I love watching him ride, and it's just a shame. Things happen, though. I mean, there's years like that. The good thing is he's young. It's not like this is his last year on tour. So, and I mean, he's still got a shot. I mean, he still looks good. You put together a great weekend this weekend. Anything can happen.
And then you got that guy back in the 5th spot who took 2nd last year, his first year in P1 Aquacross, Torrey Snyder. This kid's a crusher.
Yeah, he's probably one of my favorite young guys. I mean, obviously he's one of the youngest guys out here and being the 2nd year on tour. I think he had a lot of early success last year, and the pace may have picked up a smidge this year as opposed to the season pass. And I think he's just getting used to it. You give this guy a little bit more season, and he's going to be winning stuff all the time.
And you got some other guys, like Anthony Radetich, the Sea-Doo factory sponsored rider, who is he's always there. He's always in the mix. He's very consistent. 133 points coming into this round.
Yeah, you've got Chris Landis there too, and I think that 8th through 12th spot is really a fun battle in the Pro Series. You got that top 2 that's really close, but if you drop back down, Chris Landis, Van G, Ram G, then you've got Anthony Radetich, and I think Dave Davidson is right there too.
Right.
So it's going to be a nice battle there in that spot.
And I'll tell you what, Van G, Ram G, he came out swinging in Daytona, man, taking a win in Daytona, his first race there, and in those conditions, Ramji definitely's got a shot here in St. Pete as well.
I loved watching him jump out like that and just have the ride because, if I'm not mistaken, Dustin was knocking on his door a little bit, and I think growing up in the sport, to have that opportunity to have one of the greatest riders behind you has got to be a really good feeling. And I know being from the Cayman Islands, he has such a large support. It's got to mean a lot. And there's probably a lot of people watching today, so there's probably a lot of cheers going on if he gets another start like that.
A couple of local products like Eric Lagopoulos, Jason Russo, you can't count them out. This is their home water.
Yeah, 2 of the guys I've known the longest in the sport, been around them for 20 plus years. I mean, I love the guys. They're both fast, and on any given day, you could see them pulling a hole shot. I mean, they can push the pace early. We'll see what happens.
Well, for those of you folks listening in on the live stream, we're going through our practice laps right now where they're getting orientated to the course, and big course out here today, about 1.25 miles long, Tim.
Yeah, so where my mindset is at when I'm out on the course right now, you're trying to stay in that single file line that P1 likes us to be in. But what I'm looking at is how I want to enter and exit corners depending on the next buoy, and just understanding what kind of lines you can use later in the race to make moves. So you just really look at those angles and what you need to do, because as we were talking kind of off air, coming off this front straightaway, as we'll probably see that as the race gets started here, but there's a pretty nice aggressive corner off of there, and I'd be making sure I know my line through that area.
Well, yeah, like I say, a big, wide, spread out course, a 90-degree turn. You got like a 180-degree turn, both coming into the front straightaway and off of the front straightaway, and that's where we expect to see the action.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I think this first couple laps, because of how kind of compact this front area is, you're going to get to see some really good racing.
Yeah, so you can see right now on their, I believe, second course orientation lap. And I believe what they do is they do 3. They take them around twice, and then they take them once through the penalty buoy as well. But now they're coming in to where that 190-degree turn is. And taking a look down here at my sheet here, it looks like Arminio Iantosca is going to be in pole position.
Yeah, I think Arminio probably is pretty happy with being in that position here on the first moto, because I'm thinking you're going to have a pretty clean line at that first buoy, just the way the angle that it's set up at coming back towards shore. In some races, that pole position might not be exactly where you want to be, but I think he's got a good shot this weekend.
Yeah, we were talking about that in Daytona. You know, a lot of times the middle is the best place to come from. Here, it looks like the guys are going to be starting on the far outside, and if you're in St. Pete, that would be the southeast side, I believe. So you're going to be starting on the far southeast side. But it looks like when they're coming, just like we're looking into right now, they're going to be looking into the sun.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tough to see with the glare right now for us, but for them, I think it's going to be all right, because you know it's a hard left coming off the straightaway, and you'll start to understand that angle after the first couple laps.
Boy, I'll tell you, that hard left.
Yeah,
I'm just watching this. This is just course orientation,
yeah.
man. I'm already. I got the goosebumps and everything. The hair standing up on the back of my neck. I'm ready. It's the finals, baby.
Yeah.
We're racing to the Bahamas.
It's good stuff, man. You're seeing it on the screen right now. Is the section we're talking about? This is going to be a lot of fun racing. This is going to where some passing's going to be happening, because later in the race, the more tired you get, the guys that aren't on that pace, that lead pace, are going to check that throttle a little bit more, just because they're not quite able to hang on to the boat.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it looks like it's going to be pretty tough to hang on to today. We got 1 to 2 foot booters out there.
Yeah, this is some of the funnest water to ride in, this little washing machine stuff, and because it enables you just to let it rip, man. Just grab the throttle, let the boat dance underneath you, and whatever happens. You just got to trust that hole's going to land back straight and track right back to the next buoy.
Now, tell me, you know, we've raced here at the pier for many, many years. You know, I mean, this place has got a storied history, but we're actually out in front of the pier this time.
Yeah,
this is kind of cool, huh?
This is my first time up here on this balcony, and just to have this view of racing. If you're ever close to the area, this is somewhere you travel to.
Right, exactly. Like we started racing here at the pier about 30 years ago. 30 years ago we started racing here, but we used to race on the side of the pier. We never raced out back. And, I mean, you've got such a better view out back. And then, obviously, man, we got the Celsius VIP booth down there. And then we got the bar upstairs. Everybody's at the end of the pier. Everybody's ready to party. It is race time, baby.
Yeah.
It is go time.
I love it.
Saturday.
We've got to be getting close to this lead lap with the guys, because they've had to have went around 2 to 3 times now, so we're probably going to get ready to stack them, and we're going to get this opportunity to see them rolling.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, you got Iantosca now pitted right beside Iantosca right there at the start. You know, Iantosca's got pole position, but you got Devin Farthing there, and Dev Dog's been doing pretty good too. He's currently 6th in the points.
Yeah, man. I'm probably, between Devin and Tori and Landis, they're probably 3 of my favorite young guns to root for right now. And the most exciting thing about Devin is just, I've watched him come up on the stand-up.
Yeah.
And I've watched him since he was in a stroller getting pushed around by Dustin. But
right.
coming up on the stand-up, and then just to go straight, the stand-up to the sport boat, winning championships, and to come sit right down on the runabout, these sit-down boats.
And to go right into the pro class.
I mean, it's just, to have that skill level, that just lets you know how well the stand-up in the sports class relates to the runabout.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll tell you, Devin's just like his dad, man. They can put their leg around anything and drive it like they stole it.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. That's for sure. I'd be excited to see. I think that would be something really fun to see this weekend, is Devin and Dustin mixing it up. I was wanting to see it in Daytona. We got close to a close battle. I hope we get to see it this weekend at St. Pete.
You know what? Anything can happen, man. Visit St. Pete Clearwater. It is the finals. Is the SBT P1 Aquacross. We race to the Bahamas. And they've got about another half a lap before we get started. So those of you folks listening in on the P1 Aquacross live stream, make sure you go grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself something to eat, because you're not going to want to miss any of this racing action.
Yeah, we're going to have over an hour and a half of straight of racing pretty much. We're going straight into the amateur class after this class. So, yeah, you're going to want to lock in here. I know there's probably a lot of people on the stream that are just itching to see some racing because it's been a little while without the live stream in Daytona. I think this weekend's just going to give the people around the country a nice taste of what's been going on this tour.
Right, so the Pro Enduro getting ready to start. This will be followed by the Amateur Enduro. The pros will be back around 3:30 this afternoon, and the amateurs will be running their second race about 4:15 for those of you listening in. So we'd like to say a very special thanks to all of our great sponsors before we get started here. Of course, Short Block Technologies, SBT. It is the SBT P1 Aquacross Race to the Bahamas. We'd like to say a special thanks to Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Of course, our largest local sponsor here, the HydroTurf, obviously, Yamaha, Jet Pilot, Gath Helmets, Riva Racing, Fly Racing, of course, ICOM Radios, and my friend Tommy Bonacci out there in California with Bomber Eyewear.
That's a heck of a good rider, Tommy, just with a great product as well.
He was a fun guy on tour. That's all I got to say. I'm not talking mushroom.
I don't know what was going on there. I just saw Camden Powell off to the side talking to a course marshal. He was pulling back into about the middle of the line there. He's one guy we didn't talk about that I think is probably praying for the wind gods to kick up a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
The water bouncing off the pier is probably going to give a nice chop. It's really washy machiney here, but Camden's going to need some help on that heavy boat.
And he's one of the only guys out there on the Kawasaki, and that's what we're talking about, heavy boat.
Yeah.
It's a little rough water. He may have an advantage here today.
Yeah.
And he did really good in Daytona. He was impressive.
Well, I think what happens is he really sustains his early pace and then it starts to push towards the end as the water chops up a little bit. It looks like they might be pulling them off to the side here.
Yeah, I see the Devil Nichols. That's Finlayson, who is up there in the points in the amateur class. He's won, I believe, 6 of his last races in a row.
Gotcha.
Michigan,
yeah.
Between Michigan City and Daytona Beach.
I don't know this to be fact, but I heard that he's done 9 motos. It must have been 3 last year on the Northern Tour. So he's done 9 motos and he's won 9 times. I mean, can he be stopped this weekend?
In the amateur class, keep your eyes out for the Devil Nichols.
I mean, goodness gracious. I don't know how you could even it's amazing to see somebody with that kind of success early in a P1 career.
So it looks like we may be doing a 2-flight start. We'll try to. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hey. So it's going to be a 2-flight start with some amateurs racing with the pros.
Well, it looks like we've got exciting racing today. We're looking at the schedule right now, trying to get it squared away on who's going to be racing here. It looks like the amateurs are out there getting warmed up.
Yeah, so the amateurs, from what I understand, they're taking a practice lap here with the pros, and they're going to go back. And when they come out, they're going straight to racing.
Cool. That way they can get rolling once the fans are here and their other boat racing gets going on for the day. That's a really good idea. The course orientation to get it started here in the morning like this, I think it's really good for the amateur riders to be able to go back to the pits and talk with their teammates, or talk with their pit people, and about what they're seeing out there before they even have to race. Normally, you're going right into the race and you're not having that communication.
Sure, yeah, you get that communication. You can tell them about the course. Where's the crazy spots? Where am I going to have trouble? Where do I throttle it down? And
heck, you even got a chance to make a change on the boat performance-wise, because you've got 45 minutes till you're actually going to need to go back out there. And I don't know that P1 you've ever had the opportunity. That's kind of exciting, especially with the points race. I know we talked about the pros. The amateur class with Finlayson is like 7 points back from Joe Johnson right now, so they're going in this weekend with a straight battle. And Finlayson hasn't lost a moto. So if that's the case with going into the first moto and this weekend, they get to go back, maybe tinker with the skis a little bit. We might see some skis that are sitting on the side dead in the water because they're trying to just get every ounce out of them. But,
well, this is it. it. I mean, this is the finals.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you don't race all season, come to the finals, and not wind it up like a squirrel on Prozac.
Like Ricky Bobby says, if you ain't first, you're last in,
Right.
in the race in between those two. Because honestly, whoever wins the weekend wins the overall.
Right, and besides that, if you come in one of those top placements, you get a free opportunity to go to the Bahamas, man, and hang out with us in November.
Yeah, that was really cool. The first time we did that, I think Chris Landis got the opportunity to go. There was the amateur guy that got the opportunity to go with us, and he had a great showing in the Bahamas, and it catapulted him into his great rookie year in the P1 series. So it'd be interesting to see out of Joe or Finelson if they maybe both get to go. I'm not sure how that rule works right now, but if they get to go, or one of them, I mean, it could set them up for a great season in pro right off the back. And I mean, it gives you that confidence while you're still in that amateur class, so it gives you a little taste. You can decide to stay an amateur maybe if you go over there and say, hey, maybe I don't have that pace yet. Maybe I do need one more year of seasoning. I don't think that's the case with either of the guys we're talking about. They're both ready to make that leap, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'd say, I mean, Landis, just going by his past track record. I mean, last year he took 4th overall in the Tour. I mean, this guy, from Riva Racing, he's got it in him.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my best friends. He was in my wedding. I mean, the guy is he's got talent. He's a great great guy at work at Riva, being the parts guy there at Riva, one of the lead parts guys, race team manager. He's got pay. I mean, he's one of the fastest guys on the track every weekend. It's just people don't really understand what it takes to put everything together over the course of a weekend. You can flash in a moto, you can flash in a start, you can flash on a couple laps, but can you put it together for 90 minutes? And it's I've been racing a long time. I did a lot of winning and a lot of other types of racing. It's tough in P1, man. It is a different animal here. And these guys, it's tough to put it together. I mean, look at Christian and the pros. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Well, we touched on this in Daytona, too. Unfortunately, we weren't on live stream. But in Daytona, we talked about, it's kind of a hat trick, because you not only be mentally prepared, and your boat's got to be readily prepared, and you've got to be physically prepared. Yeah. So, and you've got to hold all three of them together for 90 minutes plus 3 laps.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the 90 minutes while we're here. We're not even thinking about all the time that it puts, getting prepared for the race. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm up here in the booth and not out there on the water. It's just the bandwidth it takes to prep in the week to get this equipment to hang together for that. It's just, these guys and gals are putting the time in that they're doing what they need to do to be successful.
Well, it looks like it's just about time to do battle. I'll go over the lineup with you. Boat number 1, Arminio Iantosca. Boat number 6, Devin Farthing. 22 is Anthony Radetich. Number 44, Camden Powell. Number 73 is Greg Radulski. 77, Jason Russo. 79 is the King, Dustin Farthing. Boat number 81, Bailey Cunningham. Number 82 from the Honduras, it's Jonathan Dent. Boat number 105, Christian Daly. 110 is Tori Snyder. 115, Gunnar Trailer. 116, Vanjie Ramji. 201, Chris Landis. 221, Dave Davidson. And boat number 243, it's D-Mac, Dennis Mack. 287, all the way from Italy, Thomas Favellini. Boat number 300, your points leader coming into this from Broward Motorsports, James Wilson. And then you got the outlaw, Eric Lagopoulos on 361. Boat number 724, Benjamin Montel. 777, Juan Liscano. And rookie, boat number 808, Graham Hunt.
Yeah, man, it's exciting to see Graham. He's one of those amateur riders that stepped up into pro. I'd like to see him have a good weekend. You'll see everybody getting stacked here. Right now as a rider, just trying to keep that heart rate low. This is really one of the most exciting things in racing right now. What we're about to see in any type of racing is this kind of a start.
Well, and it's crazy because, they're actually perpendicular to the pier right now. And you're going to be looking at speeds, I'm saying probably between 75 to 85 mile an hour in this chop right here. And all headed into one turn. You got, I think, 22 pros.
Yeah,
We've got 22 pros out there that are getting ready to take off. And I'll tell you what, they're taking off into history. They really are, because this is a great event. This is the final event, and again, it's all about that championship right now. Jimmy Wilson with the bullseye on his back.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. What's really cool about Jimmy and Dustin being both from Broward Motorsports, both from the same team, is what kind of setup are they going to have? Do you think within the same pit are they trying to keep secrets from one another, or are they sharing everything?
It's funny. I found this out. Dustin is riding for Broward Motorsports. Devin's riding for Farthing Racing.
Yeah, so, exactly. But I mean, with Jimmy. Oh, here it looks like we're launching, guys. Everybody's taking off. This is going to look like a very clean start. Green flag, green flag.
Yeah.
We're going racing. We got some Broward skis there on the inside. What a shot there close up. You
Oh,
really
how
get to
close
see
they
the
are.
water difference there.
You got to have a lot of trust to be
Yeah.
going 80 mile an hour next to a guy right there where you could just bump elbows with him.
It really is something where you got to trust the guy next to you, and it has the ability to track straight. We got some looking great out front there. The glare on him is tough to see right now. We'll see as they turn back in towards shore. They are tracking hard down. We've actually got quite a nice group of probably 4 to 8 boats there up front that have really started to stretch it out a little bit.
Wow, and as they head into turn number 1, here we go.
Oh, we got somebody that checked out heading towards a sailboat out there. That was definitely a long line. Let's see if he can still sweep back into second place.
Holy smokes, drunken sailor on a 24-hour pass. What's going on?
That might be... Is that Vanjie again out front? Let's see what happens coming through here. And that looks like it might be a Sea-Doo in second place. Let's see here. He's tracking hard back towards shore. This glare is tough to see right now, Mikey.
Yeah, that sun is coming right down at the St. Pete.
And that is Vanjie.
Ramjee
Yeah,
out in front.
Juan Lescano there for Miami Jet Ski Shop in second. We've got a nice battle of Tori in 4th and 5th. Or 5th and 6th. I did not catch that. Wow, what a shot coming through there. That Vanjie again, but riding from the Cayman Islands, taking that whole shot.
And Tori, who said he was battling for that 4th spot right there, sponsored by Visit St. Pete Clearwater.
Yeah, they got their own rider up front there. That's got to be exciting for the guys that are in charge of that partnership, along with P1 to be teaming up with them.
Wow, how about that DMAC Racing?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the last factory teams to come in. And Vanjie taking a win in Daytona on race number 1, and now grabbing the whole shot here, race number 1 in St. Pete.
Yeah, I think they're really trying to get up to the front, and they're really wrenching on these skis hard. They're doing a great setup with the whole shot. I mean, to be able to jump out to the lead for the second round in a row in a moto, I mean, that just lets you know DMAC Racing knows what they're doing with the setup.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because I talked to DMAC, and he said that they were getting a little bit of instruction from Dean Cherrier. You might know that name too.
Yeah, definitely. If Dean's helping out, that's great. I mean, especially with Vanjie, I mean, if you watch his body posture, when he gets out of a corner, he really stands up and gets leaned into the front of the boat. That gets the ski leveled out and hooked up. So even if the setup might be a little bit off, the rider has a little bit of input to the ski and the hull throughout the race.
And it makes me proud because I'm the race director down there in the Cayman Islands, and for him to come from the Cayman Islands to be doing as well as he's doing right now, it's just, I got like a dad moment.
Yeah, that's amazing to see that out of them. We got a great battle here coming back into the front straightaway here. These boats are coming in. They're looking amazing. That looks like Jimmy and Dustin possibly right there, your points leaders battling, going back out to sea there around that right-hand corner.
Right, big thing to talk about right now, Juan Lescano. Man, Lescano had a bad accident out in Havasu a couple of years ago, and now he's back, and he's out there in second place. And, he hasn't been, this would be his best placement from the entire tour. He's looking really good out there, and that could be Vanjie's best friend.
Yeah,
to try to keep them Broward guys off his back.
Yeah, that's for sure. These guys, we've got a great battle here going on. It's tough to see with the glare who we've got there, but they are really pushing the pace early here in this setup.
Well, you can see them working their way down the back straightaway. Ramjee right now with about a 1.5 second lead over second place, Lescano. As they make the turn up there on the top left-hand side of the track here as we view it from the end of the pier. And again, if you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome everybody to the SBT P1 Aquacross Race to the Bahamas. This is the final round 3 races to go.
We got Vanjie heading back towards us right now, number 116 on that D-Max ski, about to take that left hand and heading back into the chicane to go into the straightaway. Juan's tracking hard on him. That top 3 has got a little gap to 4th, 5th, and 6th. There's a nice battle there as they go back from there.
Yeah, well, you can see the top 3 really pushing each other as they get ready to come down the front straightaway again. Ramji takes that turn good. Lescano goes a little bit wide there. But again, that's what we were talking about. That's where you're going to see a lot of your action, because some of these guys are going to be going a little wide because you've got the 90-degree turn there, and then you've got a 180-degree turn here.
Yeah, I think if you just saw Vanjie take a little bit open of a line around that, coming off that straightaway, Juan actually set up a little bit to the inside. I think the Sea-Doo hull lended well to that corner there, that aggressive corner coming off the straightaway. Vanjie, he's really laying down very consistent laps here early in this moto as they're heading out away from us, heading back out to shore, taking that left, going onto the side straight there.
Lescano ain't giving up. You can see Lescano try to work an inside line on the back straightaway.
Yeah, Juan having the closed course racing background, that little more of a sprint style racing. I think in a more aggressive hull with the Sea-Doo, I mean, it's set up to really, really ride rails, and I think that's going to be advantageous to him late in this race as he tries to close up on the 116.
Less than 4 seconds between first, second, and third right now. Top left-hand side of the track. That's where you'll find your race leaders. It's still Ramji, Lescano.
Wow, these guys are really riding a fast pace here. This water is just lending well. You can see how the boats are tracking. The spray coming off the bond rails. It's just really consistent with that chop. Oh, we might have a shot here at Juan coming around. He dropped back into the line. Third place is trying to make a move here. We'll try to catch who that is for you guys as they come around. We have really got to battle that. They're pushing the pace. 116, Vanjie might be rewarded here because of what's going on in second and third.
And they're coming up to some back markers, and that could that could provide some turbulence as well.
I mean, this shot on the live stream is great for the people. The view of racing here. I mean, this is amazing. Oh, that's Christian Daly. We got in third place there on the Powerboat boat. He's wearing the long white sleeve. Christian having a little good luck here. I think as this race wears on, Juan and the 116 are going to have some fun.
You know, C-Day, he needs a good weekend. You know, he's been pressing it. He's been pressing it all year long, and unfortunately, he's just had some mechanical issues.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing to do with him. I mean, this guy's in shape, man. This guy's fit.
Yeah, if you follow his Insta, you see him training all the time. He does that low heart rate training. He does really good endurance training. That's how you have to set up for this. We got, as they pan out here and we see Vanjie with, you can kind of see how the top 3 are just perfectly spaced. Right now on the screen, you'll see in 4th you got Landis. He must be just outside of this top pack with one of his good buddies, Tori, behind him. Well, man, Vanjie just took a look over his shoulder there, trying to see what his lead's like. I mean, they are really tracking hard going down that side straight over there.
Right, and I'm pretty sure that's a back marker that's right in front of them right there, that they're all getting past.
Yeah, that's good news that they got by them on a straightaway. That's always the best bet. You really don't want to have to navigate a back marker as a rider as you come up into a corner.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is he wasn't around like the flagman where they're going to have the blue flag with the yellow stripe, which means there's a race going on and you're not in it.
Yeah, Juan, when he took that left-hand corner there, Christian Daly was so up inside of his hip, you couldn't even tell. He was in his blind spot there. He was hidden behind him. He was so close. Christian is really letting it hang out there. That line through there, I mean, I don't know if he lifted. This is going to be a heck of a drive down the front straightaway for him.
Yeah, Daly's got Lescano on his mind.
Yeah. Juan is riding some really tight line. It's going to be super tough to pass Juan just because of how close he is to the buoy. This is one of the advantages of the Sea-Doo watercraft. I think that it allows you to ride that little tighter line when you want to be that aggressive like Juan.
Yeah, the Sea-Doo a little bit lighter, and in conditions like this, I mean, they're still kind of light conditions. It's not something that we would like see in Daytona. Kind of light conditions, that light boat, you know what I mean? And you know,
what I like is this water's good for both the Yamaha, the Cowie, and the Sea-Doo because it does have a little bit of everything. The Yamaha, if you'll notice how Vanjie and Christian are a little more open lines sweeping through the corners, and you'll watch Juan almost a little bit more of a square off every time. And we'll see here the distance between second and third. We got Juan with Christian tracking right behind him in that standing up body posture there.
Ramjeet, though, man, he is he's the story of the morning here, and he was the story of the morning in Daytona.
Yeah, man, it's so great to see him out front here. And with this water, he's just settling into this pace. It's going to be tough to make passes out here until they get into some lap traffic, just because these guys are all so talented.
Right, and in this class we call it the Pro 300. Let's talk a little bit about the 300.
Yeah, so these boats are the performance level ski of all the manufacturers, and then they get to do a few modifications to them to really just let them open them up and breathe a little bit better. Here's oh, that was a heck of a corner by the 116, man. If he does that much later in the race, he might be going to testing the waters out. That was a heck of a corner.
He dropped it up and set it down, baby. That's what he did.
Yeah, what's interesting is if we can pan out a little bit and see the distance the top three have to fourth now, with Chris Landis coming onto the front straightaway here. We've got a whole straightaway. Here's Landis and Torrey. They're about to come onto the side straightaway as you see the top three there going out to the side of the track.
Torrey Snyder, again, this is somewhat his home water too, being from just down south of us over in Bradenton.
Yeah, he's definitely, as I went over the Skyway Bridge, I was thinking about they get to practice in this type of water. I think it's a little rougher underneath the Skyway than it gets out here, but it's still very similar. And, I mean, he's probably sleeping in his own house. So.
Well, you know, and the crazy thing is that he came straight from Manatee High School football right into jet ski racing.
Yeah, the kid's talented no matter what kind of sport he lines up against, I think. This top three are riding such a pace right now. It has to be just, when they get done and they get to watch this live stream back in their pits before they go into the next race, it's going to make you feel good when you see the lead that these guys had on fourth and fifth. And, I mean, we're only just a few minutes into this race, 10 minutes into this race right now.
Exactly. You got a back marker between second and third. Third now getting around the back marker.
Yeah, so every time Vanjeet comes off that side straight, you'll see him take that quick check over his left shoulder. He's chosen that's the spot he's going to look at his gap. And that's smart, because as a rider, you don't want to be checking over your shoulder a lot. You want to use it in an area where you can see the whole track. And these guys are really seasoned and smart when you see something like that.
Right. Don't look behind you. Ain't nothing going on there.
Yeah, look at here, these guys coming into the front straightaway here. One heck of a corner. He is such an aggressive rider there, Vanjeet. I mean, his ability to really snap corners is unreal. And here comes Juan. You'll see him. He's doing that boat is really good. The Sea-Doo, the way they're handling. These top few are really going through this front section well.
Vanjie Ramjeet, of course, sponsored by DMAC Racing. Juan Liscano, sponsored by Miami Jet Ski.
Yeah, that's the family business. They build amazing watercraft. They repair watercraft. They're absolutely one of the best repair shops and dealerships down in South Florida.
Somebody told me his sister was faster than him.
Ooh, I don't know. They have a pretty fast dinner table between Landis, Valentina, and Juan. They've got a pretty fast dinner table.
That dinner table's full of horsepower. You got that right.
Yeah, we're looking at this battle for second and third, it looks like, or first and second right now. Juan is staying that same distance behind him. I mean, these guys are equally spaced. They're really going to need some kind of wrench thrown into this battle to change anything up, because I don't think anybody's going to make a mistake right now.
Yeah, they're definitely staying equidistant as we look to the north side of the track, the northeast side of the track, where 1, 2, and 3 are all right there. Liscano
he's closing up a little bit there. Yeah, I think he carries a little more speed into that corner, it looks like, because he really tracked hard. And you'll notice for once he's set up to the outside here. So he's trying to sweep. He's trying something different, and it is working. Look at him close up. This is a heck of a battle. He's going to make a drive here on the inside. That line change really worked for him. Can he make it stick?
Oh, he's going to push Vanjie
drive
to the
him
outside.
wide. Yeah, what a line, man.
To the window, to the wall, baby.
You'll notice Juan really hanging off the back of the ski. Oh, he oversteer in that corner. Christian might actually get the opportunity to make this pass as well. Yeah, and he does. Oh, what a section there by those two. It really made it's interesting that Juan was able to make that change in that one section. Every lap there, he was setting up to the inside just to step out to have that. Wow.
Yeah, tough break for Ramjeet, but Ramjeet's coming back. He's got out the broom. He's going to do some sweeping up there.
That is amazing for the 116 to be able to come back like that after getting past and set up for the next, just to be right back in that mix that quick.
Well, you got to think of what it does to you mentally and what it does to you physically, and you know this, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, when you're cruising like that and your heart rate's leveling off because you're in the lead, and then all of a sudden somebody comes up to mix it up with you, your heart rate's going to jump, and you're going to have to get dialed back in really quickly.
Yeah, again, like we said, mental fitness is just as important as the physical fitness and you know, the condition of your machine.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and right now, talking about mental fitness right now, I know Juan's in a good spot mentally. I mean, I know this kid works long hours in the shop himself, building, repairing skis. He not only rides it, he wrenches it, he builds it, obviously with help from his dad. Oh no! On the front straightaway, we've had some contact. We've got a heck of a battle with going by a lapper there. Looks like we've got D-Mac and another ski on the front straightaway. Here comes, we've got some contact. We've got a yellow flag on the front straightaway. We've got the leaders coming through right now, so this is going to be interesting here to see how they navigate this as they're coming through.
Well, yeah, I mean, not only are you worried about saving that lead, but now you've got to worry about other people that are, you know, hanging out in the water, and we've got a yard sale on the front straightaway.
It looks like the course marshals have it blocked off, so the leaders made it through clear there, and it looks like everybody's okay getting back on the skis here.
Wow.
I can't tell who the other ski that was involved there with them. The leaders got through. They're going back. They're tracking through the back straightaway right now. Looks like everybody was okay in that accident. So we got D-Mac getting back on his ski now. That might have even been teammates there, D-Mac and Cushman. So that's tough luck if it was.
Ah, man, yeah. You hate to see that, you know, when teammates actually collide with one another. And we've seen that earlier this year, too. We've seen that with the Broward team a little bit earlier.
Man, Juan's looking good out front, man. He's got a GoPro on the top of his helmet. Go give him a follow on Instagram. He's probably going to have some good footage shared later.
Right. Well, I think he needs to turn it backwards because that's where the action is, man. Yeah, it's all behind him, man. He's out front.
You got to tell him be a little more confident, right, going into Moto 2. Juan is just hanging off the back of that ski, man. He is really trying to stretch it out right now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the green flag comes out, so that means we're 15 minutes down, 15 plus 1 to go.
We're just 15 minutes and 30 seconds into this, so Juan's got a half a race to go. He looks like he's trying to ride a street bike out there, hanging off his body weight off to the inside of the ski. I mean, he's really trying to sweep these corners now. I think he found something out. Christian is dialed and profiled. Look at him, man. He is really lowered behind those bars. I think everybody's starting to realize it's a top speed race more than normal now, and they're really trying to let these boats out. This is a drag race of a P1 aquacross event.
Yeah, hey, I like drag racing.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah, so you got Liscato out in front. For those of you listening in, Christian Daly in second. Vanjie Ramjeet on the 116 back in third. Chris Landis on the 201 in fourth. And Tori Snyder on boat number 110, rounding out your top five as we are halfway through.
Yeah, you'll notice as they panned out a little bit there, we actually don't have the 116 in that top mix anymore. They have actually they've distanced themselves from them. So the top two are starting to walk away with this now.
Well, you know, and that's the whole thing. You know, you've really got to strategize with aquacross. Now, you've raced closed course and you've raced aquacross. Your strategy. What was your strategy when you went out there? I mean, was you going 100% for the first 25 minutes and just hanging on for the last 5? Well, or were you dogging it for the first 15 and going hard for the last 15?
Well, Mikey, you announced me racing P1. I don't know if my strategy was the best.
Hey, your strategy's real good. You're hanging out with me in the booth.
Right, today it is. I'll tell you, I think with P1, you have to let people settle in early. I think everybody gets a little crazy early on in the race, so I just make sure that I'm riding smooth early. And at this point, you are pretty much all out. You're past the halfway. You'll see Juan. He's letting it hang out, man. I know this kid. He's zip tied right now. Look at that corner he just took.
Wow.
I mean, he just dipped his body to the inside. If he had some kind of a G-force measure, that's probably 3 to 5 G's he's pulling through that corner.
Oh yeah, looking amazing. Let's go back a little further in the lineup. Again, 6th place is Tori Snyder. Then we got Devin Farthing is back there, followed by James Wilson.
Yeah,
and then you got Cam Powell back there too in the mix.
Yeah, he's really mixing it up. One thing I'm worried about is I don't see Dustin's name on this leaderboard. With the glare, it's tough to see. But Jimmy's really putting some points on him. It looks like if this is what we have here going on in the first one.
Right. Well, we come into the race. Jimmy had 174. Dustin with 168. And Jimmy trying to clinch it early.
Yeah, man, and we're looking at DMAC Race and Ski 116 Vanjie. He's going back into this right-hand corner. He's riding. It doesn't look quite as aggressive. I don't know if it's maybe him that maybe lost a little bit of pace, or possibly the ski that is maybe coming down on power a little bit.
It's funny, and I've got the Cayman Islands calling me on my cell phone right now.
Awesome.
Chris Bodden, I'll call you after the race, man. I've got work to do.
Too funny, man. Look at this. Juan is just looking great, man. I'm going to have to ask him to check out his video after this, because it's going to be really clean and really fast. He just looks, his body posture on the ski is just really aggressive. To be 15 plus, I mean, we're approaching 20 minutes into this race, 2/3 of the way through, and to see Juan looking this solid right now, that's great. He's running up on another Sea-Doo rider, Gunnar Taylor, right here, so hopefully Gunnar will step out of the race line as Juan comes through.
Yeah, Juan running, this is the best that I've seen him ride in a long time.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you can tell he's got his game face on.
Yeah, he is a super aggressive rider. I remember the first time I rode behind him in Daytona you'll notice how aggressive his lines are. He's just, it looks almost like it's oversteering, but he's fast while he does it. I mean, look at him. He's in the lead. It's working for him. But it's something I noticed when being behind him in one of the first races is, man, he really turns the boat hard. We got Christian Daly still tracking right there. He's about 25 boat lengths behind him, and it's staying the same.
Yeah, well, never count out Daly. I mean, like I say, that guy he's a steady Eddie, man. And as long as his equipment holds together, you can always count on him being in the top 5.
Yeah, endurance training for him is top notch. I would not put a late race charge beyond his abilities at all.
All righty, back to the leaderboard. We still have Liscano up in front, Daly in second, Ramjeet in third, Farthing in fourth, and Snyder in fifth.
Yeah, it looks like Landis might have had some problems there. He dropped back. He was running in that fourth spot for almost the whole race, and the other young guns got by him, and Landis has dropped back to that 8th spot.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the 201 Riva Racer.
Oh, it looked like Juan almost took a hand off the handlebar there. That was interesting. I wonder what he was trying to do there, just shake something out. We got Christian there. I mean, he's looking phenomenal. You'll notice how the body postures are different between the two of them, just trying to work the hull out there, trying to get as much speed as they can out of it. Being that it's two different manufacturers, you probably need to do something a little bit different on the Yamaha than you do on the Sea-Doo. I don't have much seat time on the Yamaha, so I couldn't tell you. Right. But Juan looks absolutely amazing.
But a lot of times, and you know this, Tim, when you take your hand off of the bars, it means you might be having a mechanical problem.
Yeah, so that's definitely a possibility. And something else I've noticed is throughout the race in P1, I would just leave my palm into the bar and actually open my hand, and that just allows the blood flow to not be closed off there, your muscle flexed out. So sometimes it'll look like you take your hand off, but you're just moving your fingertips the whole time to wiggle and loosen up that forearm.
Hey. Well, that's because you drink Celsius.
Yeah. I hope that isn't causing forearm pump with them being the sponsor out here. Look at Christian Daly, man. He looks great. It's exciting to see. You get with this live stream, getting that close-up look at how these guys ride. You can see how it's different than going out on that Sunday ride on your normal ski. These guys are aggressive. They're trying to really work a 1,000-pound jet ski. I know it sounds funny, but you are trying to manipulate the ski. And you're barely making differences, but you are. I mean, your body weight does make a difference on the hull a little. Oh, you notice a little snap of the handlebars there. That wake just set him up a little tighter than he wanted to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's riding like a champ out there. Like me with a budget rental car.
Make sure you get that extra insurance, right. Mike. You don't want to leave that out there.
Right you are. I learned that from Victor Sheldon.
Too many Havasu trips.
That's it. 777 Juan Liscano, sponsored by Miami Jet Ski Shop, making it happen, Captain, here in race number 1. Our first pro enduro of the weekend here at the Visit St. Pete Clearwater Final event, man, SBT, P1 Aquacross, racing to the Bahamas.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. You get to see Juan took a few races off, racing overseas on a close course tour. So for him to have the opportunity to come in here and get a good race in the P1 tour, it's really good for his confidence.
Well, you know, and it's like he was totally, like when we came into this, he was kind of totally the dark horse.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, coming into it, and let me take a look down here. Liscano, he was in. He's in 21st position.
Yeah, I think he only, if I'm not mistaken, he only has raced Daytona, so it was something where he took the part of the season off. You see, Juan just threw his hand off the handlebars one more time, so I wonder what is it because of the lappers he's rolling up on, or is he having an issue? Because that was, again, he motioned at the course marshal there with his left hand.
I don't know. Maybe he was waving to Ronnie Mack, our official photographer here, you know, with P1 Aquacross.
But there's one thing going on here is Christian isn't taking his hand off the handlebars. He's putting his clamp down on the throttle. So this could get interesting with these lappers here, and with Juan trying. Oh, that boat danced a little sideways. That's called a little bit of a sea-doo walk there.
Yeah.
I mean, down the straightaway, he turned almost a 90 away from the shore. Juan, his heart rate has to be up in the air right now. Is he?
A little bit of shake and bake.
Did he come off? Is we get a new leader there? Yes, he is off. After that snap of the handlebars, he came off. I noticed the boat just snap hooked off him after that kink. So going from the lead, can he get back to the boat in time to salvage this is the question.
Oh, wow.
Christian going from third now is in the lead. Juan, he's upset. I think he's really mad about the lappers. He's motioning at the course marshal to come get him. It's just so disheartening when you get in this position. You're in the lead. You push the pace. You're looking great for your sponsors, and the boat just snap hooks on you, and it happens.
Well, you know, and that's, you know, we talk about this all the time too. You know, and that was a big thing with the motocross tour was that, you know, when you get into lap traffic, you really got to know what you're doing.
Here comes Camden Powell. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you there. I love this kid's his riding ability. He's just doing great, and I want to mention him as he comes through, leading this small pack of riders here. I'm not sure that it must have been Landis there with Radetich right there with him. That was tough to see with the glare coming through the front straightaway. I apologize.
Well, some incredible racing here.
Yeah,
man. I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any better than this. You know, we got 3 races in the pro class, 3 races in the amateur class. Points battle on the line. Wilson in the lead. Farthing came in second. Farthing is.
I can't see where Dustin is on the track just with the glare, but it looks like Wilson is in the top 10, so at least he's securing some decent points. But here we take another look at the leader, Christian. He's got to feel good, man. He ran that first 10 minutes in third, the second 10 minutes in second, and now he's spending the third 10 minutes in first. I mean, if we didn't say he was going to make a late ride there, a late run, I mean, it's right. He did exactly what his training says he would do. You put in the work, you reap the rewards. Hard work pays off here. This kid, give him a follow on social media. You see, I mean, he's one of the hardest working. He's training harder than anybody. He's got his 100 daily push-ups he does. This guy is doing work. He's putting in the work. He's getting the results. It's just a shame on how the equipment's paid him off this year.
Sponsored by Broward Motorsports and Cabrera Power Sports.
Yeah.
David Cabrera spending the wrenches on the Broward team, and I'll tell you what, he's been spending them the right way.
Yeah,
Broward's been doing very well this season.
I think he dialed the boats correctly here. I mean, sometimes you'll see these guys wind these skis up a little too much, and they'll start to lose a little power at the end. I don't know if it's coupler things going on inside the ski or starting to blow up. You'll notice today this ski has been absolutely dialed the whole race, been running great. I mean, to be able to stay this good, he's trying to see what kind of time frame it looks like. Right. He's looking for
somebody give me a white flag.
Yeah,
man. Come on.
He's like, I've seen what happens to the leaders in this moto. They get taken out, man. The race gods do not like it, man. Oh, look at this. I am mistaken. That's D-Mac who had that incident earlier.
I think he might have a hood latch problem.
So I'm just looking at the screen here, and it looks like they're listing Dustin Farthing in second now. So this could actually be very important. We'll try to get this tracking coming back around the next time. I'll try to get you guys an actual position here.
Daly coming in with 145 points, 25 more. Obviously, we give him 170. Farthing with 168 points.
Yeah, man.
But he'll get 20 points if he sticks in second.
Yeah.
Now, you know, that'll move him up into the lead.
Yep. We're looking at the leaders right now. Christian Daly, he's looking great. He's doing amazing right now. He's so dialed. I mean, to be this late in the race, and he looks exactly like he was early on the race. Look at, I mean, he's out there for a Sunday cruise right now.
You know, and he's got a great family too. You know, his father, who was an F1 racer, his brother's an F1 racer. His mother, Beth Daly, actually used to race stand-ups with us back in the Great Lakes Challenge Tour back in the 80s.
Wow, man, that's crazy to have a family around racing that. I love it. I mean, it's cool to see. This is what this sport's made of: is great families and great heritages and great community.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because, you know, you talk to a lot of people and they don't realize that, you know, personal watercraft racing is such a big thing, but they also don't realize that it's such a family thing, you know? I mean, you kind of get that, I don't know, skateboard-esque.
Yeah, you know, it's just that vibe, being around the water, being around the people. It's just chill. It's family. It's fun. It's great to see.
You know, you meet your best friends in the world.
Yeah, man, definitely. You'll notice that another rider a little oversteer there coming through. I think that was Bailey Cunningham from over from Australia, getting his opportunity to test the waters here in Pro. It'll be interesting to speak to him and see what his thoughts are coming over here and just what the different competition level is. There's D-Mac there trying to keep his hood shut. He's having a tough go of it ever since he's had that incident earlier in the race with that other rider that appeared to be possibly his teammate.
Somebody tossed my homie some duct tape out there. Come on,
man. They actually have a special latching system they sell for those the Yamaha, but it must have maybe got popped off there when they made contact. And looks like it's so tough to see with this glare. I apologize for those of you that are watching. It is a straight black shadow coming across the front straightaway in this when we're trying to focus in here. It looks like Christian Daly. I mean, he's just, at this point, he's trying not to make any major mistakes. He's just happy to get this race over with. We've got just about, it looks like this will be the white flag lap here if that timer that we're seeing is correct on the screen. And that's exciting. I know after what he's seen to the last two leaders, it's good news to see the white flag. Here he is taking this left. I mean, it's just phenomenal cornering. I mean, he's got a good, solid 20, 30-second lead here.
Yeah, Daly, who hails from Carmel, Indiana.
Yeah, I bet you. I see he's living in West Palm now, near Broward, so he can get more training time in. These guys, Broward's doing an amazing job. I don't know how exactly they're working it, but he's getting these guys down here for weeks at a time. Him, Dustin, Jimmy, they're training. They're doing this the right way. There's a reason their guys are up front right now. I mean, you get out what you put in.
Well, hats off to Sam Nemi, who has really built this pack.
Yeah, and there is the white flag for that Broward Motorsports ski. Cabrera tuned Broward Motorsports Yamaha watercraft there with Christian Daly standing up, bent over, still leaning forward, applying that body weight to the front of the hull, keeping the hull settled in nicely. The water is a little calmer. It's not too bad, little chop to it. It's nice. Here you'll see, this is Dustin Farthing we're seeing on the screen right now. We've not talked about him much just because of it's hard to tell with this glare, but he is looking solid. And if he's riding this pace right now, this is amazing, man, to be able to be riding that pace that late.
30-plus U.S. national and world titles. Yeah. You never count Farthing out.
Yeah, man. And I mean, at this point, with the water the way it is, this is easy for him. He's so used to the big surf. With this little chop, it's not much to navigate for a seasoned rider like him. Approaching this last few corners here, it looks like Christian's just trying to get out of the way here of this other boat down the back straightaway.
Right. Yeah. Now's not the time to make a mistake. You know, I mean, so you got it. You got it in your pocket.
Yeah. You just want to get through this. Oh, and I think it might have been Radetich, which has a very fast ski. So down that back straightaway, probably Christian just said, "Hey, let's go ahead and you can have this. I want to take my time.
You can take an extra lap and burn some more fuel."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'll get the checkered.
There's another $4.30 for you. Keep going. $4.30. Dial it up.
Exactly.
You know? Here comes Christian. He's holding his face mask there. Hope everything's okay. Holding the front part of his goggles and helmet area. Can't see.
Not quite sure. Maybe he might have lost them.
Yeah.
Well, we're still under white flag conditions here. Visit
There
St. Pete
we
Clearwater.
go.
Look at Christian Daly.
Yeah,
How does the checkered
with
flag?
the W, man. Starting it off, just amazing to see him with that kind of a performance, to charge late like that third, second, and just come through the whole pack.
Yeah, C-Day rocking the pier today.
Looks like Bailey Cunningham, lapped rider there coming through. Just got to be happy to get the laps down and the experience here in America. This looks like it possibly could be Cushman, who was in that incident with
Mac.
Yeah, early on. And then there's
Farthing.
Dustin.
Farthing
And so
in
he
second.
did take that second place. There's Gunner there taking a lap down. We've got, that might be Jimmy Wilson right there with Tori. Couldn't tell who that was behind him.
Can't see it.
We still got a battle there coming through across the line. There's some really great racing. Some really great racing there at the end there.
Well, you know, kudos
Look
to
at this.
Christian Daly.
We guys, this Camden trying to set him up on the inside on
Yeah,
the
he is.
last lap.
Oh.
That might have been Favaloni there. And Camden with when his lines are some of the funnest to watch. If we can focus in on him a little bit in the next moto, the way he sets that boat up, I think he might be a little underpowered on the top end, but his lines are phenomenal, and it's not like he's falling off on pace late in the race.
Well, you know who Camden's dad is. It's Derek.
Yeah.
And Derek was a former world
I
champion.
mean, well, he's taught him well on picking lines. In Daytona, it was really fun to watch. And sometimes some of the most exciting stuff isn't the stuff that's up in front. You see some real talent, some real ability, and you know when they get the right setup or the right equipment, it's on, man. It is absolutely on. You'll notice here on the screen we got Jimmy and Dustin talking there, so I'm sure they have a good idea of who's got the points. If Dustin did get Jimmy there, I think he did come across the line, Jimmy, right after Dustin. So I don't know if that was for position. If it was, that means Dustin picked up 5 points.
Yep.
So that would be down 2 going into Moto 2 for the week.
Moto 2 for the week. Yeah, it's like things are getting tight
yeah,
here. Things
man.
are getting tight here.
It's going to be essentially a winner take all in Moto 3 if they could stay close like this. Here we got it on the screen there, and it was Dustin in second, Tori in third. So he did get one person in. So Dustin takes the points lead going into Moto 2.
Right. Wilson in fourth. You got Vanjie Ramjeet in fifth. Devin Farthing in sixth. Camden Powell in seventh. 201 Landis.
Oh, that was Landis and Camden there battling there at the end. What a battle! Yeah. I heard you say that was Favaloni there on the blue Yamaha. That was awesome.
Ninth place was Anthony Rudetich. 10th place Bailey Cunningham out of Australia. Glad
Yep.
to have all of our internationals here.
What a great day to have this best lap, last lap here. You'll notice Christian Daly really laying it down. Oh, we lost that graphic. That was a really cool graphic to have up on the screen to be able to see those laps. That's something I always wanted to know. It's good for confidence for the guys in that 6th through 12th spot. You wonder, like, where am I at? What can I put together? How can I take that
How's
next
my
step?
lap time compared to the guy that's in first?
And when you see that and you can go, well, heck, I ran a faster lap time than the top guy. So what do I need to do to be more consistent? How do I dial that in? Where can I be more of the rider I'm capable of being? Because it's all about consistency. These top guys, you'll notice the 116 Vanjie, he was great. He was phenomenal. But there was a point where he did not dial his laps in every lap. Juan, same thing, great, was dialed in. And then the moment he made one bobble, we talked about it, the next corner was another one, the boat snap hooked on him. And then you got Christian, who was dialed the whole time, just chipping away. And we didn't even get to see Dustin because of the glare. I mean, then you see that, we got Christian with the checker flag there. Yeah. I mean, it's just good stuff, man. It's exciting to have the first race like that.
There he is, Christian Daly, boat number 105 from Carmel, Indiana, sponsored by Broward Motorsports.
Yeah,
your winner of race number 1.
Yeah,
and now he is back in the points battle.
Man, I mean,
things are tightening up here, man.
It's exciting. It's great to see Sam Nemi got a great business, got a great race team, just putting these guys in the position to win. I mean, that's all you can ask for as a rider is just give me an opportunity, especially these dudes. These guys are showing up to practice and they're showing up to race, and that's if you're gonna win in this kind of racing, that's what you need. That's the type of support you need. Just great to have.
Ramjeet working his way back in, gonna have to settle for a 5th place position. All right, folks, we're going to be back in just about 5 minutes, Tim. I'll tell you what, let's go grab a nice cold Coke. How's that? Alrighty, folks. Welcome back to St. Petersburg. We're hanging out at the pier. Mike Young along with Tim Ducat. It's the SBT P1 Aquacross Race to the Bahamas, man. We're racing to the Bahamas, November 6th and 7th. If you ain't got no plans, man, you need to be down there in the Bahamas with us.
Actually had a buddy the other night call and tell me to give him the details. He wants to head down. Chris Campbell, you remember him, a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
He wanted to come down and check out the race in the Bahamas. I thought that was pretty funny. Here we go, getting stacked up, man. After that first moto, the pro race, with that race in the way, we got to see that top three flip through. Even with this calmer water, to see that top three change like that throughout the race, that's super exciting. Because when the water's like this, sometimes we won't see as much swapping. But heck, man, let's see what's happened. I think everybody spun up a little higher than normal, too, being the last round of the tour.
Well, I'll tell you what, can Jay Finlinson stay on top? I mean, this guy has been unstoppable. Man. He's on the double nickels, folks.
Yeah, is he going to go 10 for 10? I mean, is he going to get to double digits? Has that? I don't know if that's ever happened before. Yeah, I mean, we might need a special spot in a record book for this kid after this race.
Well, yeah, the spot's going to be in the pro class next year.
If he's not, I think there'll be a bunch of dudes in the amateur class with crowbars at the first moto.
As long as they have a handlebar pad so they don't get disqualified, right?
Woo. Shot over the bow. Here we go, guys. We got going. That's a clean start, it looks like.
Finlinson on boat number 55. Joe Johnson comes in as the points leader. He's on boat number 91. Eric Diaz comes in third place. He's on the 1-2-3. Tyler Eric.
And these guys are looking good going down this start.
You got Hickman, Valentino Liscano, Matt Smith, Frankie Mojica, Andre Edmondson, Trey Williams, Jimmy Roberts, Domenico Barilla, Yaniel Santana, and then in the 200 class, Kevin Sullivan, Andy Ray, and Melvin Canals.
Wow, these guys are really flying. These amateur boats are going so fast, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they're really close to the pro boats in this weekend with the water the way it is, just staying revved up. And it looks like who else in first place than Finlinson, the double nickel, man. Ignite Racing Fuels. That's that Syracuse Mafia.
Yeah, exactly,
front, man.
Syracuse Mafia in town for an assassination, baby.
Dude, looking good up front. I mean, these guys got to be happy. And guess what? My guy, Joe Johnson, he's actually yanking on him here. He might have a little top end. They were tweaking. I talked to these guys throughout the week. They were tweaking all week long. I know they picked up some serious speed, and it is on right now, boys. Look at this. This is looking good.
Finlinson and Johnson down the front straightaway, and they were bond rail to bond rail, baby. That's what we like to see.
This is going to be good. These guys have already distanced themselves a little bit from that third place rider. It looked like a Cowie boat. Hard to see once again with this glare, guys. For everyone that's watching on the stream, we apologize. This is tough to spot out as they come through the straightaway.
Oh, and you got a rider down right there what we talked about. Oh, and he's in a bad spot.
So
he is in a real bad spot.
We need course marshals over there quick. He's good. He's clear. He's clear.
Yeah,
man, that was not a good spot to go down.
Yeah, you know, when you're coming around that turn and you're kind of blindsided because you know it's the big orange cylinder buoy.
What is that? The 207 boat there. The 207 was the one that went down there.
207. That was Matt Smith on the Yamaha.
Man, that kid is fast.
And Smith was, he was up in the points too. He was top 5 in the points coming into the day.
It was really good to see how he rode in Daytona. He was really fast, man. I was excited to see this. This lead, man, this lead battle is going to get real fast. Look at this. We've got Joe Johnson setting to the inside. He's riding just like. You'll notice he's setting up similar lines to that Juan did early in the race. It's a shame he didn't get to talk to them, that they weren't teammates, because I think he'd really see an advantage of sweeping this section that he's coming through on the side, just like Juan did early in that race when he made that pass.
Well, I think Johnson's just biding his time right now.
Yep.
You can see he's checking the lines. He's seeing where the good place to pass is.
You're right.
Being a very smart, very intelligent racer.
Yeah, I think that Finlinson might be is considerably younger, so he might have a little bit more stamina right now. I think Joe, it'd probably be good to just settle in here. But the thing is this kid's so talented, you can't let him get disconnected from you, or you're not going to be able to make the run. That looked like I carried a little too deep into that corner with speed, so Joe probably made up a little bit of time there. He drove by that buoy a little too much there by Finlinson. Let's see if he settles into these lines after this front straightaway.
Well, Finlinson, a complete athlete, sponsored by Ignite Racing Fuels. He's not only a personal watercraft racer, but he also plays golf, and he's a center on the high school basketball team.
Here, it looks like this might be, who is this with the white helmet on the, that FX there, it's tough to see, man, on that. It might have been Chia going by there. We're taking a look at this right now. You're in fifth place. Fourth place, we're seeing on the screen there. They're probably about a full straightaway behind that top three, so they're going to have a little work cut out for him there. Finlayson checking over his shoulder. Oh, Joe Johnson with a stuff coming out of that corner. So Finlayson just picked up some major time there. That's the one thing with the Sea-Doo, man. If you're going in that corner, you start to lean down in the corner, you turn the handlebars down a little too much, that hull is aggressive. It's going to start to turn down on you. So you have to open those lines up, and just it gives you more room to, in case a wave does dip you to the inside, that you're not oversteering like that. That's why when Juan opened that line up, I think that he made that pass.
And then the last thing you want to do is catch an edge.
Yeah,
if you catch an edge, you're going for a swim.
Exactly. And it just gets tougher and tougher to stay on it when you catch an edge the later in the race it gets. Finlayson looks great here. He's settling. He's checking over his shoulder again. I think that's the spot to look for that lead there, is coming off the straightaway. If he wants to use that every lap, I think that's the area you're going to want to look to see the distance.
And then you got a rider down here right before the front straightaway.
Oh, this is going to
after
get
the 90.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting because we're about to have the leaders come through here. You're going to see the stream come into what we're talking about right here as they turn this right-hand corner. They're going to come by a downed ski.
Right, the yellow flags are out.
Yep, and it looks like Finlayson's through clean, and now Joe Johnson is through clean.
And back marker in front of Finlayson. Finlayson works to the inside. Able to get around.
Like I said earlier in the Pro Moto, you really want to make that pass of the lappers in the straightaway. It's just so much easier to navigate when you make that pass in the straightaway, and then you don't have to expend any more energy in the corner because 30 minutes on these skis, you're just so tired at the end. You do not want to be using energy on lappers if you need to be using energy on for position battles. You know,
spaghetti arms.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's almost like 2x4 arms actually, because they're just so solid, filled with lactic.
So you got the amateur 200 and 300 classes out there. So you got the 200 horsepower boats out there too. Kevin Sullivan, I believe, is going to be your leader coming into this one. Andy Ray, Melvin Canals. We don't talk a lot about our 200 riders because they're way out horsepowered. We're trying to keep our eyes on the lead pack.
Yeah, it's tough to announce that class when they get mixed up in the lappers, especially with this glare today where the numbers are a little shaded from us. It's tough to pick them out. But I will say the top few leaders are easy to see with that bright yellow boat, and Finlayson there with the way his body posture is, the way he rides. He's really out front there. It's easy to tell with those two. He's actually got a little bit of a lead, a little bit of a distance now. Joe's settled into that pace. Let's see what happens. We're just now 5 minutes into this race. It's amazing how these races go by. Right. Sometimes it feels like an eternity for these guys.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, me and you both, we come from a closed course background, and you do a 30 minutes of announcing straight. I mean, you're used to doing 6 laps or 4 laps. You know what I mean?
12 minutes plus 1 at the most. You know?
Exactly, and that's at Havasu.
Yeah. Here we got Finlayson coming back in towards us, like right at us, at our vantage point here at the end of the pier. And then you've got Joe Johnson just behind him. He's probably got about a 10 second lead there. It's just about the full straightaway. Joe's ski looks really fast, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get that lead on, get the whole shot in him in Moto 2 if he can't make that close up in this Moto.
And they've really separated, you know, from the third spot, which is now coming down the front straightaway.
That's fourth there. That third is that Cowie. I can't quite tell who the Cowie is. Is it Barilla there?
It might be Barilla, yeah. I think he's the only Cowie rider.
Yeah, then Chia there just behind him. So that'll be interesting to see who that top 4 is when they come back through again.
And Chia was the points leader as we came into Daytona.
Yeah.
But he had a horrific week.
And I think actually he might have got injured there too. So I
think he did.
Yeah. So I don't know if he did. I saw something come up with a small injury that happened, so wish him the best. Here's Barilla here on the 714, so on the front straight, so that must not have been him.
And he's sponsored by Arilla Construction.
Finlayson's looking really good right now. He's settled in. I mean, the pace that he has right now, he's just really confident. He's going 10 for 10. If the boat holds together, we are watching 10 motos, 10 wins, I mean, and a points lead.
Incredible.
Oh, what do we got going on here? He's pulling up by a lapper. It looks like Joe's closing up on a lapper.
I would like to see Finlayson and Daly go head-to-head.
Yeah, they might get that real soon. In the Bahamas.
Both from Indiana. Both from Indiana.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. It looks like Joe Johnson's trying to get around this lapper. They definitely gave the boat some more top end, but sometimes with top end might come a little mid-range, and it might wear you down a little bit more than you're used to if you make the boat faster.
Right, exactly. You got to be able to hold on to it all the way to the end.
Yeah, so one of the disadvantages Joe fights, he rides for PWCparts.com, but he lives up north, and his skis reside here in Florida, so it's tough for him to get, the time on the seat.
Time.
Yeah. So, just for transportation purposes, it's a disadvantage that it's an uphill climb that he has to battle.
And we talk about that all the time, and I used to talk to a couple of our former racers, and what do you think? Is it more important to be in the gym, or is it more important to get that seat time?
Once you have a base level of cardio, it's seat time. It's I feel like when I was riding, I'm probably one of the most fitter people in the gym, but I didn't get the seat time. That was my disadvantage. I wasn't on the boat all the time, and I think that's where sometimes, even with the elite gym stuff, like, it doesn't matter, man. You got to be on the skis. That's why these Broward guys are winning. That's why the Finlayson's winning. You see these people up north, they're riding the Great Lakes, they're going to these rougher lakes, they're riding, they're putting in the seat time. That's why Broward's the way they are. They're going out into the ocean. You ride, you win. If you're a young person watching this stream, go get your key, go to get your helmet, go to the water, and ride when you're done watching this moto. Come back, watch Moto 2s.
And buy some fuel.
Buy some fuel. Buy some fuel. And some Celsius, too, while we're at it.
Fuel your body, fuel your ski.
Well, it looks like we got some good racing going down the back straightaway here. You can see this glare is just gnarly. We're lucky the course is easy to remember, because I don't know if you can see the color of the buoys as you approach them, because it might just all look backlit and black at this point. I don't know if you're catching that they're orange or black.
Well, how would you like to be out there actually on the course with that sun directly coming in your eye right now, especially when you're going south to north here at the pier?
Yeah, man, it's pretty gnarly. I'd be definitely wearing shaded goggles. It's definitely not a clear goggle kind of day.
Right. Not a good day for your GoPro.
Here comes...
Is that Johnson getting past the back marker?
Yep, Johnson getting past the back marker. There's Finlayson coming through here in the lead. You got Johnson in second. Is that Edme in third? Or Diaz? Who was that?
Eric Diaz.
Yep, Diaz in third.
And Diaz won the 200 class here at the SBT P1 Aquacross race to the Bahamas last year.
Yeah, Joe Johnson's looking really good right now. His body posture, he's still the same, looking the same. He's riding that boat the same as he was before. There's your third place, or that wasn't a Cali, that was actually a Yamaha. That's your third place rider just pulling in there, I think. Yeah. So we just got a change there. It's now the 618 boat in third place. The 618 boat moves into third place. There's Joe Johnson.
618, that's Trey Williams.
Oh, yeah, man. He was
really good in
Daytona. Yeah, Trey was riding really well. He's being super aggressive, man, and running in that top three. It'll be interesting to see if I think he's got a problem with starts here in Daytona and here. Looks like Joe has just settled into the second place. I think he's decided, hey, this is where we're going to hang right now. We're a third way into the race.
You're the points leader. You're coming into the race. You want to be consistent.
Yep. Finlayson there. Consistent. He's got that. He's stretched it a little bit. Well, I don't know. You consistent. You're going to be about tied with Finlayson right here. So, I mean, it is what it is. Winner's going to take all in this, just like Pro Class. I mean, to be able to have 2 points races, 2 class, coming down right to the end, I mean, come on, man.
And the scoring, a little bit different here. Like on closed course and motocross, you're used to the moto scoring. So, the lowest common denominator is your winner. Here, it's a points battle.
Yeah, man.
So it really changes things up.
I like it. I like how the points add to the 3 points add to the season. It makes it pretty cool, so you can easily see how the points for the overall are going to happen as the motos are happening. It's not, you don't have to worry about to wait until the weekend's over to know what the points are for the weekend.
Right.
So hey man, I got 2 points down. I have to win this moto. Like, this is it.
Exactly.
This is
it's now or never.
Yeah.
These guys, never. And you can gain 5 points with a win. Because you get 25 for the win, 20 for second, then it goes 18, 16, 14, and down the line. But
that looks like it might be Joe Johnson getting around one of your 200 riders there, Sullivan. It's tough to tell there going down the front straightaway, but Joe's still staying strong. Trey is just behind him. Here we're looking at Finlayson again. He's on that back straightaway. He looks solid.
Finlayson, he's working his way through some lap traffic.
He's just checking over his shoulder. I mean, at this point, you're making sure that you're near the same gap every time. So as you go around, you either pick a buoy to spot them at, or you pick a spot on a land. You see them crossing a landmark, and you see, oh, they're in front of that skyscraper every time. You keep them in front of that skyscraper. If you notice they start to close that, it's time to turn that pace back up. And you'll notice, I mean, he looks super relaxed.
He's in attack mode right now.
Yeah, I mean, but he's doing it relaxed. You'll see how he's up over his feet. He's leaned up towards the front, so he's just leaning into the boat. So anything that happens to the hull is just dancing underneath his feet, and it's very similar. I know the stand-up guys make fun of us sit-down guys, but when you're in that kind of a body posture on a ski, you might as well not have the seat there. You're on a stand-up. It's just a big stand-up platform you're on. This guy looks great. He's sitting down fast laps, and this is how you win. You're going to win a championship.
You see he's taking a look over his shoulder, checking out where second place is, just to see how comfortable that lead is. I know that it was a couple of weeks ago we were in Michigan City, and he won by like more than a minute.
Wow.
Over the rest of the amateur class, and that just speaks loads about the talent that this guy has.
Look at this battle we got here on the screen. It looks like that might be Trey making the pass. This is huge for the season points. Trey gets around Joe Johnson. This is really big for the points. So now that puts Finlayson clear of Joe in the season standings if these positions hold. This guy Trey, he's got a real shot at being good, man. I really like how he rides. You'll notice he's got the same kind of body posture on these Yamahas. You really want to see that stand up forward lean. That hull likes that body lean into it, especially in this type of water. He looks great, man, to make that pass. I'm really beginning to think maybe getting that extra speed on the Sea-Doo and not getting that seat time, we might see Joe get faster as the weekend goes on. I think that might be what we get to see.
Well, I'll tell you, it's just amazing. It's amazing right now just to watch these guys and the talent. And this is the amateur class. Yeah. To watch these guys and the way that they're performing out there. Hats off to Williams, Johnson. And, of course, your race leader, Finlayson.
Yeah,
Finlayson is
the bar's been raised by these guys. The bar has absolutely been raised by the top half of this amateur class. These guys are making moves. The pro class grew with some real pace. We got some really good racing here in the back of the pack with Barilla and the other Sea-Doo there. That's amazing on the front straightaway. Finlayson, yeah, the top half of this amateur class, the pace is just really raised. What's crazy is pro, I've been hearing from all the guys I'm talking to, pro pace is quicker than it's ever been. So if we get the top 3 guys from amateur make that leap and they just progress in they're aging up, getting stronger and getting more endurance, getting more seat time. Dude, pro class next year, top 15 is going to be an accomplishment.
Let's take it to the Bahamas, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's another thing. We might get a little taste of that before. We got Finlayson coming on the front straightaway here. He's right in front of us with our vantage point. And then
green flag.
Yep, we still got green flag, so we're halfway here. We're just after this. Here comes Joe Johnson on the screen. He's in 3rd place right now because I think we're going to have Trey coming before him. But let's see what we got here. Here's Joe coming down the side straight. Yep, it looks like Joe is actually in 3rd now. And we do have Trey there in 2nd. And that is Hickman. That was a pass for 4th that Hickman there when that battle that we saw in the front straightaway when he got by Barilla.
Yeah, nice pass by Hickman on Barilla. Barilla currently sitting in the 5th spot.
Man,
Tyler Erith in 6th.
Man, this Sea-Doo is just dialed. That Joe Johnson's PWCparts.com ski is really dialed. Finlayson, man, with this Ignite Racing Fuels sponsor, has probably got a lot of fuel to burn. He is not worried about the fuel cost for the weekend. He's get this ski really dialed in on that gas. And obviously it's working well with the ECU setup for these guys, the tune they have. And whoever's doing that kind of stuff, that kind of work for them, I think it might even be one of the pro riders, Brian Baldwin. To have that kind of experience helping on the skis, that's the reason that they're out front.
Yeah, that's crazy because we're missing Baldwin here this week as he would normally be racing in the pro class. Finlayson out there on the Yamaha SVHO.
Yep.
You were a Sea-Doo guy.
Yeah.
didn't ride too much Yamahas.
No, first ski I ever was on when I was a little kid, when I was like 6, was a Yamaha, but it went straight to Sea-Doos when we started, when I had the opportunity to buy them, just because of the type of racing we were doing. Both watercraft are great. I mean, it's fun to see them battle. I mean, you saw what Juan did when he got dialed in on that Sea-Doo, and it just was it's a shame to see him, snap hook there towards the end, but both watercraft have a shot at winning any given day.
And that's one thing I like about P1 Aquacross is, they try to keep it stock, what I mean? They try to keep everything, so it's consistent and so that nobody has one advantage over the other, whether you're Sea-Doo, Kawasaki, or Yamaha.
And it's really cool because sometimes they'll even get extra modifications to a different ski to bring it up to speed. Man, Trey looks great here. To be we're approaching the 18-minute mark here, and to see Trey with this kind of body posture, I think these guys are just getting so settled in when they get into these positions, man, with this water the way it is. They're just they're standing up, they're flat-footed, they're lean, body posture lean forward, and it's just, man, it feels comfortable. It feels good. It feels like you're out, man. The Saturday cruising with the boys, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Trey looking like a smooth operator out there. Hey, by the way, folks, while we have the opportunity, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Short Block Technologies, as well as our good friends from Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Bomber Eyewear, ICOM Radios, of course, Fly Racing, Riva Racing, Gas Helmets, Jet Pilot, Yamaha, HydroTurf, and of course our host here, the Hilton Hotel.
Man, it's awesome to have sponsors like that. The local sponsors, Visit St. Pete Beach, Clearwater. I mean, to have these kind of people involved with racing, this is what allows us to have a great tour like this with P1 Aquacross, is these supporters. Because without this, we couldn't have this many members putting on the race, the TV, the live stream people, the course marshals, us coming here. I mean, the ability to come here and do this for this, to put on the live stream and have this kind of a production. Thank you to these sponsors.
Yeah, you know what? For those of you folks that aren't here, you wish that you were here, because we're right now overlooking the VIP booth on the end of the St. Petersburg Pier.
It's awesome.
And there is some doggone good racing going on.
Yeah, we got Dominic Barilla there with Barilla Construction. He's been around for a long time, man, on this Kawasaki. He's a really solid racer. He's really good, always up there, always battling. He'll pull one whole shot a weekend. He's good for it. Put a money on it. If we're in Vegas right now, you got 2 left. You got a 50-50 shot with this guy pulling over the next 2.
He's always got the most animated stories in the pits after the show.
I can't say anything, man. I'm passionate. I'm the same kind of way, man. Here's Fiddleton. I mean, this guy looks like he's about ready to order Uber Eats or something, the way he's checking out. I mean, he's just hanging out. He sits down in the corners for a second. He's like, oh, okay, I still have a 2-minute lead. Where we got here? This guy is having one heck of a race, one heck of a season. I mean, we're how many minutes away? 10 minutes away from, just over 10 minutes away from a 10 for 10. I mean, to do that, I don't know who's in the Fiddleton crew, but there's got to be some merch done, guys. Let's get those T-shirts printed up. There's an opportunity there.
Ignite Race Fuel needs to step up.
10 for 10, man. Ignite Racing Fuels, 10 out of 10. So is Fiddleton. There you go. Free advertising.
Yeah, this guy is something else. His father was a racer too.
Yeah.
Brian, back in the day, back in old Region 6 days.
Yeah, man.
Midwest Watercross Tour.
It's so cool, like we talked about, just these legacy guys. I think it sets them up for such success because they get to ride. We talk about it. That seats time starts so much earlier when you're a legacy. Because your dad's into it, you start at 6. You start at 7. If your family's not into it, you're starting at 13, 14, or heck, when you buy it at 20 plus. So there's a lot. You're missing, 5, 10 years of just seat time, and it's just... We get so dialed in with the lack of mistakes. It becomes almost perfection on these lap after lap of these guys that are in the lead.
Well, Tim, you go back there to the pits and you look how many father and son combinations are out there.
Yeah, man, it's special.
Some of the fathers are still racing, some of them aren't.
Yep.
But there's still father-sons that used to race, and it's pretty special. It's a pretty special thing, and it's again, we talk about this as really being a family sport.
Yeah.
And it to the 100%.
Yeah, it is. And you'll see the guy out front has a great dad supporting him. I mean, it's just, I wonder how that works, I mean, you see, I don't know much about Trey. I don't know him or his family, but I'm sure we could get to know him and find out a little bit more of that. He looks great here, the way he's riding it. I mean, we're under 10 minutes to go here. I don't know if he can spot Fiddleton. He has a pretty distinct riding style, so he might be able to see where he's at. There's Fiddleton checking over his shoulder. I don't know if that's for position or not, if that's or a lapper that he got around.
I think
there.
I think that was a
That
lapper.
lapper. Okay, so Trey's clear of that lapper now. I don't know if he can spot how far out Finelson is, but he's got about a whole straightaway lead on him now. Wow, Trey really drove down into that corner. Finelson going back out to sea now off this front straightaway. He's going to easily get around this lapper here.
Yeah.
It's nice when the lappers realize what's going on and you can really get out of the race line, because you can still move fast as a lapper. Just don't use one of the top two lines through a section. Just step to the side, let them drive through on the fast line.
Well, and that's the whole thing, is that you don't have a blue flag on the back section of the track. You know what I mean? Normally it's like right here on the front straightaway. So, lappers a lot of times don't know that the leaders are encroaching.
Yep. No, you're right about that, and that's why you just got to ride a different line if you're that far off the pace. You'll see Joe here coming down the front straightaway. He's looking solid here. I think he's settled into that third place. He knows that he's got a long lead over fourth, and the guys in the top two have kind of checked out on him. I think it's time to go back to the pits and kind of talk through what happened in this moto and kind of really break down what they need to do different. He might need to look at a little bit slower pace out of the gate for Joe, and not fizzle and try to hold that pace a little longer into the moto.
Yeah, like we were talking, and you really need to strategize. When
you're right. It's lends exactly into what you were talking about.
Hey, by the way, for those of you folks listening in on the live stream, don't forget the pro class race number 2 will be coming up at 3:30 today, and in our amateur class, their race number 2 will be coming up at 4:15.
That's so awesome, man, to get the opportunity to get these guys stacked back in the afternoon after these boat races. It's going to be fun. There's Finelson. He is using that spot on the side straightaway to check off over that. That is the spot that everybody's looking where the lead is. He's coming right here onto the side. Oh, Barilla's down.
He's putting on his goggles.
Oh,
See, I told you, we're going to hear about that in the pits later. And there's going to be arms waving. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be pandemonium.
If the scoreboard on the screen's right, he just stopped to fix his goggles in 5th place. That must be that's a real. I've never had that opportunity. That must be nice, man.
Stretch out a little bit. Maybe pick up a Celsius.
Toss it to me. Toss it to me. These guys are just about close enough to have that happen. Here comes Joe Johnson here. He's got another ski tracking him. It's still that lapper, so he's safe here. Joe coming off this side straightaway. He is a good about 45 seconds behind the leaders now. The top two have really checked out. There's not much of a mystery here on the top three. As long as the skis stay together and they stay on the boats, it looks like we know what the top three are going to be with a little over 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got just under 6 to go here. 5.5 left here in the amateur 200 and 300.
Yeah.
200 class being led by Kevin Sullivan, boat number 71.
That's awesome.
And he is he's on a Yamaha as well. Yamaha's really been doing very well here in the P1 series. And Tim, you used to be a Sea-Doo racer. Tell me, why is that?
I think the Yamaha's. I hate to use the word softer. It lands softer, I think. So when the boats come unhooked, you'll notice even in a calmer race, like you'll notice here, look at Finelson's hull. And this is a calm race. We'll see the hull popping. Every time the bow spray breaks, that's the hull coming unhooked. And when the Yamaha lands, I would say it lands softer. It tracks. You know that it's going to stay a little straighter. The Sea-Doo is such a good cornering ski. When it lands, it wants to prepare you for a corner. So if you're not ready, sometimes the hull will lean on you. So that's where the difference is, I think, because of the nature of the Sea-Doo hull wanting to corner better. That's what you're going to see.
The Yamaha looks like it's a deeper V, and Sea-Doo looks more like a U.
Yeah, I think it just gives more opportunity for the hull to lay over in the corner. So whenever that happens, whenever you re-enter the water, it's giving more opportunity for the hull to lay over. So things happen sometimes. It kind of looked like Juan might have had that happen, but you just have to really get the boat tracking well. And if you can have the boat track straight well, you have an opportunity to win.
4 minutes. Can Finlayson hold on?
Man, it's in his head. Do you think he's going 10 for 10, 10 for 10,
exactly?
10 for 10?
Yeah. He's thinking championship. He's like, I'm going to the Bahamas, baby.
Yeah, I think he's got his own little jam out song he's got going inside of his head. We're looking at, it looks like 99. That's some homemade numbers there. That's some pit special numbers there.
The duct tape special.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, man. My dad used to jokingly call our program duct tape racing for a long time, so I'll know how that is.
Well, I'll tell you, as a promoter, duct tape and zip ties have got me through the last 37 years.
We got, it looks like that is Finelson there on the screen. Looking great.
Yeah.
Man. Finelson's looking really, really good.
He's strong. He is very strong. And it looks like Johnson still back there in the 3rd place.
Yep.
Hickman in the 4th place.
He's on a previous year model Sea-Doo too, so it'll be interesting to see what Hickman can do when he gets on. I think Mo Solly said that he was training with him, so he's got somebody with a little bit of experience, and I think he's on a 2016 watercraft, 2017. If he gets onto some updated stuff, he might have a real shot.
5th place is Dominic. I can stop on the front straightaway and fix my goggles. Barilla.
Gotta love it, man. I wish I had that opportunity. I've never seen that. I've never had the chance to mess around
Right.
on a front straightaway and still be in 5th place.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
Joe Johnson looks great on the ski. He's still cornering the boat well. I think they might need to go back and just talk about the setup a little bit and maybe how they're going to apply how the boat is in the second moto. Maybe free up the boat with a little bit less trim. There's got to be something they can find that allows him to hold that pace a little deeper.
Trey Williams on the Yamaha GP 1800.
Yeah.
Still in 2nd place.
Looking great. There's Finelson checking over his shoulder. He's probably looking for Trey to make sure Trey isn't close and that he doesn't have to worry about him.
Well, at 28:08 into the race, we'll be looking for a white flag probably
the next lap,
on the
maybe.
next lap.
Yeah, I think we might sneak it in here. Finelson keeps checking over his shoulder, but I think he's good and clear. I think at this point it's just navigate the lappers here. He's looking toward. That boat. I think he's still doing good under power. And it looks like Trey is about to approach the straightaway. So he's a good distance in front of him right now. Trey's actually got his goggles around his elbow. So he said, Dominic, you can stop and fix them. That's what 5th place could do. 2nd place doesn't got that time.
And how hard is that? I mean, I know that you know about this.
Dude.
I mean, when you have to take your goggles off, you got salt water, you're getting pump wash.
All I got to say is Trey's lucky he's in 2nd. I didn't get that opportunity much. And it's the worst coming through lappers, man, because it's when you're in the corners that it matters. In the straightaways, you can kind of turn your head to the side, use the visor to deflect it. But when you're in a corner and you need to be looking where you're going, if you're trying to track outside of it, and you've got a boat to the inside and outside, it's like water razors into the eyes. It is not fun. 70 mile an hour water is not a good time.
29:16 into it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, it's great having you up here, man.
Thanks,
I love the insight, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I was doing this by myself for a long time, but it's so much fun to bounce off of somebody, especially somebody like you with as much knowledge as you have.
Man, I appreciate it. It's fun to sit up in the booth because you've been doing this so long, so it makes it a little bit easier to know, how to talk about the racing and stuff. So, and I mean, we've been friends for so long, so it's nice to sit up here and to watch a sport we love, to get to watch a young guy like Finelson, to be able to watch the youth, and to be able to watch the heritage. It's like, it doesn't get much better. Sun, water, horsepower. I mean,
hanging out on the back of the St. Pete Pier,
dude,
Celsius right down there within grabbing distance.
Here comes Finelson here. I mean, the only thing that can make this day better is knowing you went 10 for 10. I think.
Right.
I'm loving the day, but I don't have that kind of confidence right now.
Somebody's having the best day on the beach in the day.
Yeah. We're
close.
We're up there. We're up
close.
there. We ain't got nothing breaking. That's the one thing. I really wanted to start coming to the races and have a setup where I didn't have to do too much work on the skis before I came to the race. Well, I got that. I'm just talking about racing.
Right, exactly.
I don't have to do any work leading up to it.
Exactly. The heck with buying that race fuel.
Man, these guys are looking great.
There's the white flag.
Here we go.
There's the white flag.
We got Trey.
Finelson.
We got Trey getting through. Just be patient
look
here,
at this.
Trey.
Yeah,
be patient. Be
hit
patient.
the brakes.
Yep. Oh, this camera just went off, and we're actually looking at the white flag. There's Trey. He was being super patient. That was really heady of him. One of the lappers closed down. You'll notice that lapper in front of him is running that same line.
Right. Yeah, you're on the last lap. You don't want to do anything to take those points away from you. Don't do anything crazy.
Yeah, you're so clear, and I haven't even seen Joe Johnson come by the straightaway yet on the front here. So he's so clear of third place. He's golden.
Yeah.
Just get this lap done, man. Just make sure you're staying under power. That's all you got to do.
I believe this is Johnson now coming down the front straightaway past the start-finish line. So 1, 2, and 3 pretty much separated out right
Yeah.
now, you know. So
Yeah,
Finlayson can pretty much put it in cruise control. 10 for 10, baby.
Yeah, wow. It's print the shirts, man. Print it. Let's start selling the merch. You can find it on their Instagram page, man.
The Syracuse Mafia doing the assassination that they promised when they came down to St. Pete.
The Fiddleston family, I wear a size large, bro.
Exactly. Can you help a brother out?
Where's the double nickel jersey up here in the booth?
Exactly. Exactly. We want the collared ones.
That's that bougie stuff right there.
We want to be all bougie up here.
And we're looking at, it looks like Dominic there. That's the Lapper boat that's just in front of, appears to be, can't tell who that might be, Diaz. It's tough to see with this glare, guys. Gals. Fiddleston looking solid, checking out, man. Just, I want to know what's going inside of his head. He's got to talk about that later with us.
I want to talk to his dad.
Yeah.
That's got to be one proud father right there.
I've got a 3-year-old, man, and I look at it with Troy and Tori. I look at it with Dustin and Devin, and the joy that you've got to feel, the joy that Mr. Fiddleston has to feel watching this happen. You have no control over it, but it's your own blood. You've put all the time into this. This is 10 for 10. This is points lead. This is a shot at the Bahamas. I mean, this doesn't get any better than this.
And there it is. Checkered flag, baby.
That's just too awesome.
Last 10 races in the amateur 300 P1
that he's visited. Wow. It's
unbelievable.
Wow. And there goes, it looks like Trey there in second. He actually really closed up on him. I'm sure Fiddleston wasn't pushing the pace too much because of where it was, but that's got to be confidence building for Trey. His pits are going to be telling him that. They're going to be rewatching the stream to know what happened. It's going to be good news for them as they check that out.
You got to save that boat too. You got 2 more races. You got 2 more races this weekend.
And honestly, maybe we don't know. Maybe that's what Joe was doing. He's like, hey, I got that pace. All right, we're only 3 points back. It's still win or go home for him.
Right.
So nothing truly changes out of that top 2. I mean, maybe you've got a good point. There's Joe. Ooh, he almost missed the last buoy. I don't know what happens on the rules there.
I was going to say he can't pick
last buoy.
He can't pick up the penalty.
Oh man,
he cannot pick up the penalty if that happens.
Michelle, we need to check the rule book on that one. What happens if you miss the last buoy, dude?
Michelle's like, don't talk to me. I'm not even here.
That is not. I'm going to mess with Joe later about that one. What do you do? How do you go check that equalizer out? You'll notice Joe over here talking to the guys grouping up over here, just happy, talking about the race.
That's right. Congratulating each other on being masters of the universe.
Yeah, well, dude, it's just, you talk about that runner's high, man. You want to talk about a jet ski high. Like, you've just got done with 30 minutes. You're on a 300 horsepower jet ski. You're navigating 2-foot chop. You're racing 20 of your closest friends. I mean, you want to talk about a high after an athletic event. This is it, man. This is the center of the jet ski universe for the day, and you just went 10 for 10. That is, you are on another level, man. That's some endorphins going. It's time to go back, relax, stretch, get some fluids, get something to eat, and get ready to keep this going. Could we see 12 for 12? Could we see 11 for 11? Like, where's this going to go?
I don't know, but congratulations to Ignite Racing Fuel's Brian Finlayson.
Yeah,
taking the win, the last 10 races.
Yeah, man, that's too awesome. Good for him. Good for him. Man, it'd be exciting to see what happens here in these next couple motos. These guys last few coming through here.
Yeah, so we'll have Finlayson. He'll be doing the checkered flag celebration, and they're gonna go over. I believe we've got one more rider that is still out on the course. As soon as that rider comes in, they'll give the flag to Finlayson.
So Mikey,
10 for 10, baby.
Mikey, is that 10 points difference between first and third? Is that how the points work right now? Is that where we're at?
25 for first, then 20 for second, 18, 16.
So he lost 7. They're tied.
So they're tied.
Wow.
Now they're tied.
Yep.
And okay, who brought it to St. Pete, baby?
Well,
who brought their game?
I will say, it looked like Joe had the faster boat. He just didn't get the opportunity to put a full moto together. That boat, when they came around the first couple corners in this side straight in front of us, it definitely looked like Joe Sea-Doo really yanked on him. And pulled him in. So he knows he's got the horsepower. So it's about, can I put all the laps together to really make this happen?
Hey, look at Finlayson saluting the crowd down there in the VIP tent.
Yeah, grabbing a little throttle. He's happy, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just that feeling. that's something that that's the stuff you dream about right there. We got Dominic already telling us about how he adjusted his goggles too.
Yeah, Dominic's he's asking what place.
Yeah, here we got Trey coming by in front of us too. Man, this is just really
Cool.
This is really setting up to be some great racing between these.
Yeah, so again, Finlayson up in front on that one. You had Trey Williams, boat number 618 in second. Joe Johnson in third. Tim Hickman on 161 in fourth. And 714,
I want to look at this.
Barilla.
Yeah, I want to look at this fast lap time here. You'll notice Joe Johnson was just over a second off the fast lap time. Trey actually had a slower lap time there, but it was just that consistency, putting it together.
And look at Finlayson.
Yeah.
So a second faster than everybody else.
So Finlayson knows he has the pace. I think Joe knows he can get there. Can he put it together for a whole time, the whole lap? Matt Smith there with a 2:03. Hickman was one of the only other riders under that 2-minute mark. The top four were the only ones to lay those under 2-minute lap times. So that's really exciting to see.
SBT P1 Aquacross race to the Bahamas. Folks, we'll be checking back in right about 3:15 or so. Pro class coming in at 3:30. The amateur class at 4:15. We hope everybody is having a wonderful day from all of us at P1 Aquacross. We'll be back at 3:30.